Hi, this is Lady Wendy this afternoon bringing you today none other than Supriya Singh Bodden. She is the founder of the Guyana Foundation, and today we are going to talk about how she got involved with all of this and how is it doing and what are the next steps in this journey. And one of the things is, Lady Wendy is reaching out to every organization because our mission is to help Guyanese to live that purposeful life, that life full of joy, happiness, but we cannot do it with all these different situations, whether it's suicidal, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's drug addiction. We need to address these conversations and have it going, and hopefully that one day both myself and Supriya here will be able to say, yes, we have done it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. You look fabulous.
Thank you
I
very
know that
much.
blue looks great. So
Thank
tell me, you have started the Guyana Foundation in 2013. What made you decide to do that?
Well, first of all, before I tell you anything else, I just want to compliment you on this show that you now have. From all that I've heard, it's a wonderful show. Everybody enjoys it, enjoys your energy. And I'd like to thank you for giving the Guyana Foundation and me an opportunity to talk with you.
Oh,
so many, many thanks for that.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
coming here.
Yeah.
Because I know you're a busy person.
Yeah.
You wear many hats like
Yeah.
myself. And so when you get this opportunity to see great work being done, we need to uplift, we need to promote. Everybody, hands is needed
Yes.
to
Yes.
get things done.
Yes,
And
and-
I applaud what you're doing since 2013. So tell me a little bit more about the Guyana
Yes.
Foundation.
Well, like
and what
you,
made you start it? Uh-huh.
like you and like so many of us, I saw the need in the communities. There's definitely a situation where, our communities are depressed. There are major problems of, domestic abuse, child abuse, alcohol addiction, suicide, and all of these social ills that we need to overcome if
Okay.
we're going to take Guyana forward.
Yes.
The health of the community, the health of the people
Yeah.
is absolutely important for us to fix it, get it right, make our population wholesome, healthy, and give them a fighting chance to move forward. And so in 2013, when things seemed rather grim, I had had enough of trying to talk about it, and I tried various avenues to make my own contribution. But that year, I went through a bit of a health scare, which kind of gave me, in many respects, even though it was a negative thing, it gave me the courage afterwards to realize that, look, there's no more time to waste.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time you get up and find the courage and do something about what you feel so passionately about. And so in January, I contacted my two very good old friends, Stanley, Eric, and a couple of us, and we formed the Guyana Foundation.
Okay.
And essentially, in the beginning, it was a charitable organization going around Guyana doing a lot of charitable projects. But what became evident after the first year of our work is that, there was no way we could meet the needs of every community.
And it's a big need here
You could
in Ghana.
not touch even 2% of the problems that
Yeah.
we were faced in terms of our ability to raise the type of resources necessary. So we focused in on one thing, and that was that we noticed the problem there was with suicide and the seriousness of it, the amount of young lives that were being lost to it. And it was at that point that I realized that, we had to reshape the organization and to work more closely in the communities and stay in the communities. Not just come in and give out things and go back to Georgetown.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of folks, that's what I
Yeah.
found. They tend to think that once you form an organization, it's only about the material side of it.
Right.
But I like to,
Yeah.
I think somewhere I read that you actually started doing mentorship in the schools.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was phenomenal because you got to start I always believe children
Absolutely.
is where you start, and suicidal one of them.
Yes.
And how was that program? You started in...
That program is going very well, but I must tell you that it's been a process for us because I came up with the concept of a sunrise center because naming it Sunrise Center because I felt if we could give people hope to want to live to see another sunrise rather than to be overwhelmed and to end their life, then we would have accomplished something.
I like the name, I must tell you.
Yeah, so
Sunrise.
that's how come we set up the Sunrise Center,
Okay.
the first one being in Essequibo, because the incidence of suicide was so high there. And the suicide of a 13-year-old boy really made me decide there and then in Suddy that I wanted to do it there. So we set up the first one in Essequibo. And we started by offering free counseling, mental health counseling, 6 days a week. And we offer skills training courses. We do homework assistance, mentorship programs for kids. And we go into schools and help with extra lessons where, families can ill afford anything like that.
I mean, not to interrupt you there, but this is the kind of things that I feel I'm so passionate about because when you can hit the core of the issues, which is mental health, which I think Guyana, unless we both lived in North America, I think that we need to focus a lot on mental illness. People tend to think, oh, we don't have any, we know everything, we don't have those issues. And I believe that's one of the main reasons for suicidal. And you can correct me because you might have done more studies than I do. It is part of that.
Yes, but the thing is with the complexity of the Guyanese situation is that we don't have the kind of population that if they're undergoing that type of internal turmoil, stress, familial pressure brought about by domestic abuse, poverty, and all the other ills, they're not likely to get up and go to a hospital and say, I'm having an issue I need to see. They just shy away from it completely.
Okay.
And so there isn't that type of behavior to want to go and deal with the issue. So I was trying to think it out and say, well, how can we meet the people halfway then? What can we do? And so the Sunrise Center provides an environment where it's not exactly a medical facility. You can come there and do a skills training course or something like that. But at the same time, many of them come to the center and they say to us, oh, we don't need any counseling or anything like that. And they sign up for courses and so on.
So hold on there, hold that thought. Now, so my question to you, the persons that come to the center, they wanna commit suicide? Is those are the ones that are coming?
We've had walk-in persons that come to us and don't mention anything. They have suicidal ideation, but they they've thought about it. They come into our centers, they sign up for courses, they say there is absolutely no problem in their lives. They just want to come and do skills training courses, but invariably, many of them have sought out the suicide, the counselor, to discuss problems that they're experiencing.
Okay.
We've had
So
situations.
you do have counselors on board?
On staff all the time, all the time, 6 days a week.
And how do you have some form of monitoring?
Absolutely.
To monitor them because they can come in and change their minds.
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay.
And we keep very, very strict and confidential records.
That was the
very
next question
confidential
for me.
The other thing is that we are called to the hospital, for instance, after people have attempted suicide and have survived the ordeal. They do need counseling before they go back into their homes, their villages, whatever. So sometimes we continue to do that.
Okay.
But we don't try to sit there and wait for people to come to us after that calamity has happened.
Okay. So
we've been going out to the community.
And the other question I would have for you is, let's say I have a relative who is always threatening suicide.
Right.
What would your recommendation be to that relative of mine? Do I seek you first or seek the hospital first?
Sometimes families who don't know how to handle the issue could possibly make it worse. You may use words that could trigger that person to want to commit that act, to go further. And so it is useful to find a mental health counselor that is trained, because persons who have suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation. There are certain ways that you can determine that they're going down that road. Many of them begin to say that they want to give away their things. They begin to talk about when they die, what they would like to see happen. They tell you where they want to be buried if they die.
Okay.
There
So
are
there's
lots
signs.
of telltale signs. If you're listening, they start posting things about death and about sayings about when I die, don't do this or do that, you know. So if you can pick up a lot of the signs, they're there if you know what you're looking for.
Okay.
And if you suspect that there is that type of dark kind of place that your family or relative is in, then I would recommend that you try to find, I mean, the Guyana Foundation, we have a website, www.guyanafoundation.com. We have a Facebook page for the Guyana Foundation. We have counselors on staff that are available all the time. And even if it's in the middle of the night, there are numbers there that people can call and they will get help. We have had situations like that happen. And counselors that are trained will be able to talk a person down from a position they have reached.
Hold that thought.
Where a mother and a relative, a close relative, might be saying things that are triggering them to get more emotional and follow through, you know.
Okay, I've been talking to Supriya Singh Bodden, who is the founder of the Guyana Foundation. And when we return, we'll take a break right now. She will be talking, I'll be asking her as to why is it that Guyana is so high up on the list of suicidal cases. And I thank you for continuing to watch us. It's a very, very serious that all these issues that are facing Guyana, and as such, we hope that we can help, even if it's a small percentage. But I think, as my mom would say, brick by brick you build a house, and this is one of them.